Mr. Koenig, thank you very much for joining us on Gen X Grown Up today. We appreciate your time. We would like to know, there was a recent announcement that Patrick Stewart will be reprising his role as Jean-Luc Picard for a CBS All Access show. We were wondering, what would you say if CBS All Access came to you and asked you to bring the Chekhov character back to the small screen?
Well, since it's a hypothetical question, I'm not sure how, in fact, I would respond. My initial response, my instinct tells me no. However, dealing with it pragmatically, if it were in fact a reality, I might have to consider the financial remuneration, the possibility that it would open up other opportunities for me. Star Trek in its original form has been the source of many avenues, both artistically and financially, that have been available over the years. So that would be a consideration, but I would not be, and it's not going to happen, so we don't have to worry about it, but I'm not really anxious to address that relationship again.
In the mid to late 90s, nothing was hotter than Babylon 5 on sci-fi television. What was it like playing the nefarious Bester character for you?
Well, it was not whether he was nefarious or not. It was the opportunity to play a dimensional character, to play somebody that had some complexity, who was a force in the story, who was more than just an expository character. The character that I had played in Star Trek was really there to help set up story, but not really to express personal feelings. It was not a character that you could delve into, that you knew how he felt or how he ticked. Whereas Bester was instrumental. He was, and he had significant relationships with the other characters. So I had a wonderful time playing Bester on Babylon 5. I enjoyed the character. I enjoyed the association with the other actors and dealing with the relationships that unfolded on the show. As grateful as I am to Star Trek for making everything else happen, everything else possible, Babylon 5 was the most aesthetically satisfying experience that I've had.
We here at Gen X Grown Up, we always like to end our interviews with the following. What's your fondest memory of the 70s or 80s, not related to the work that you did? So maybe a favorite movie, song, TV show, or experience?
The only thing that I can think of offhand, and it's relatable to the 70s, 80s, but it's relatable even more to the 50s and 60s, and that's hearing the folk singer Pete Seeger perform. I worked when I was in my late teens. I worked in a settlement house camp for underprivileged kids, just outside of Beacon, New York, and Pete Seeger had a home there. And when we have a new group of kids come in every 2 weeks, he would come up and we'd have a campfire. He'd play for the kids, the banjo and the guitar. I relate best to folk music, number one, and I relate to it because it's protest music, and it's music that brings into. It can be just country melodies, but it also music that has a message and talks about, at least the way that Pete Seeger sang it, talks about humanity and being able to people getting along and living together, and not unlike what we were trying to say on Star Trek. So I always had enormous admiration for Pete Seeger and felt very blessed that I had the opportunity to meet him and talk to him on occasion.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? Subscribe to Gen X Grown Up by clicking right here and enable notifications so you won't miss a thing. Use the comments down below to tell us what you think, and while you're there, a thumbs up would be great too. Please share this online wherever you hang out. Connect with GXG on social networks by clicking right here.
Basically, life sucks as a grown up.